Okay, so I know I said that my next video was going to be on Kirby, but I changed my mind, so we're not doing that anymore. My actual next video is going to take a while to come out because it's going to be a big one, so you're going to need a little bit more time on that. But in the meantime, let's talk about Sonic the Hedgehog. Sonic Frontiers is the next big Sonic game coming out later on in the year, and we went from absolutely no information on this game whatsoever to a bunch of it, and now we're in this weird sort of middle ground because what we're seeing is like very inconsistent, I should say. That's the best word, that's the best way I could put it. It's inconsistent. But why Soulite? Why is the information inconsistent, you may ask? Well, that's what we're going to talk about in today's video. I'm going to be giving my impressions on everything that we've been seeing so far this month about the game, and I'm really going to need you all to bear with me because this is the first video that I'm doing since Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl that is not scripted, so I'm trying to talk about everything off the dome. It's going to take me a minute, but if y'all are cool with that, let's take a walk. But before we get into any of that, I just have to let you guys know that this video is sponsored by your girlfriend filing my taxes while I'm recording a video about Sonic the Hedgehog, so if you're cool with that, let's go. At the end of a Sonic Central that we got last year in May, we got the first little glimpse at Sonic Frontiers. It was a CG trailer. It's the same shit they did with Forces, where they gave us a CG trailer for the game and then we didn't hear anything about it for several months afterwards. But after that trailer dropped, we had to basically sit here and go off of leaks and everything, and we were hearing that it's going to be open world and that it's going to be this and it's going to be that, and it was a whole lot of stuff that either sounded really good or really bad depending on who you are. Then finally, in December at the Game Awards, we got another trailer and we actually got the reveal of the game's name, because it wasn't actually Sonic Frontiers at first. We didn't have a name for the game, but now it's been called Sonic Frontiers and it actually is an open world Sonic game. Now, that scares me in a lot of ways because Sega hasn't been able to get it together when it comes to their production of games since Sonic Generations, and the fact that they're trying to tackle an open world title after something like Forces really makes me worried. And then check this, we went several more months without any information on the game whatsoever, and at that point I'm just sitting here like, does Sega want us to like the game or not? The only thing that we really had to go off of for any concrete information about the game was when we got the reveal trailer again in December. We found out that Ian Flynn would be writing the story, we found out that this would be a fully open world Sonic game, we found out that there was going to be multiple islands that Sonic can explore, stuff like that. We got that information then, but again, they went radio silent for several months all the way up until this month, June. And once we hit June, we finally got hit with a trailer for the game, and it looked pretty promising. The gameplay looked pretty cool. He was doing a little running thing, he did a little combat stuff, it looked pretty interesting. This was pretty fucking goofy looking, but other than that, it looked pretty promising. And then the next day, we got another full gameplay reveal, and that shit looked fucking awful. It looks so bland and boring. The animations look so, like, stiff and no life to it whatsoever. It just, everything about that initial gameplay reveal just looked really bad. And then we got another one later in the week, and it was for the combat showcase, because in this game, Sonic's gonna be fighting with his hands and his hands and feet. And that also looked kind of wacky looking. It's okay, so this is not the way to market your video games, because you make us go quiet. What? We didn't go quiet. You went quiet for several months after the reveal of the game, when we got the name and everything, and then the very first time we see the game, you're showing us this shit. Like, what the fuck is it? Like, I don't know what's going on over there, but the marketing for this game has been completely and totally awful, because the really bad thing that I also really don't like is that Sega themselves aren't the ones that are making us excited for the game, it's what everybody else is saying about it. Over the last couple of days, or the last week or so, IGN has been the main people showing off the game to us, but on top of that, at the Game Fest, we also got people who were able to go play the game for themselves, and everybody is making the game sound a lot better than it looks, and it's kind of ridiculous, and it's really aggravating me too, because now that I'm actually getting to see some of this footage, and we even got updated footage today, the day that I'm recording this video, and hopefully the day that I upload it, the game looks good now, and it's like, why didn't they show us this when they initially revealed it in the first place? Why did we have to wait this fucking long to see the game looking this good? And then even on top of that, before we got the nice little footage that I'm showing on screen right now, literally yesterday and this whole past weekend, we've been having to deal with people trying to sneak their way into the little demo place at the Game Fest to try to get their footage so that we can see some more shit about the game, and it's pixelated as fuck. We're seeing what looks like the cyberspace levels that they were talking about before in the leaks. It looks like Green Hill all over again. It looks like I'm probably gonna have to fight somebody because why is Green Hill back? I'm seeing a whole bunch of stuff, and again, everybody's making the game sound more interesting than Sega themselves. Okay, so I'm not going to go too in-depth about the things that we've been getting recently because I do plan on reviewing this game later in the year when it comes out, and I don't want to repeat a lot of the points there that I'm going to make here. So, I will give a little bit of something. We've been seeing shit like the skill tree. We've been seeing shit like improved physics, improved gameplay. I even hear now that there's the ability to actually edit in the options menu how you want Sonic to play. And I'm hearing stuff like this, I'm hearing all of the freedom that we can get, and I'm looking at the gameplay and I'm seeing the options, and it's like, this is it. We finally got something that could be promising after fucking 11 years. So what's the big problem here? The problem is marketing. Sega sucks at it. They don't know how to market their fucking video game. Why? Again, I said it twice already in this video, but there is no reason whatsoever as to why the people who didn't make the game are making me more excited for it than the people who actually made the shit. And it's like, why are they marketing it this way? Actually, they're not marketing it at all, actually. That's the problem. We don't know a lot about it. And all it takes is a simple overview trailer, a simple story trailer, something. We need more concrete information, more official information from Sega themselves. That's when I'm gonna start being like, okay, this is something that they could be proud of, because it's like, why are they trying to be so secretive? What about this is not clicking with them that they need to be the ones showing it off more and not having to rely on IGN or people sneaking their fucking Nokia camera phones into the goddamn thing so that they can record shit? What's going on over there? We're getting a whole bunch of disjointed and bite-sized information from people over and over again. It happens on Twitter every day now. Every time I open up Twitter, I see something new that I didn't see before. And none of it is coming from Sega officially, and that's where my main problem comes from when it comes to the marketing about this shit, because I'm excited for the game, somewhat, still a little conflicted. I'm both convinced and not at the same time, but it's like, if Sega had the confidence and if Sega had the fucking brain power to show us the game themselves, then maybe, just maybe, I'd be just a tiny bit more confident in this fucking product. And there's something else I want to talk about real quick too. Why did my voice just do that? The discourse on Twitter and the discourse in the Sonic community in regards to this fucking game is ridiculous. I've never in my life seen something more pointless than the fucking problems that this shit is causing. Sega's horrible marketing also plays a part in this too, because the problem stems from last week or 2 weeks ago, whenever they started doing this whole thing of showing off the gameplay. There's been discourse in the Sonic community because you have the people who are excited for the game, you have the people who rightfully are not excited for the game, and then you have the people that are in the middle. And it's been this big debate between the people who are excited and the people who are not about this entire thing. And the fault is mostly at Sega. You get the gameplay footage that you get on June 1st and on June 4th, I think that's the day of the week we got that, and why did I just think about that in the middle of the sentence? Anyway, you get the gameplay that we got that week, and you look at that shit, and you rightfully have every right to be sitting there looking at it like, this shit is kind of nasty. Like, why does it look like that, right? But you only have that right if you have a brain, because apparently in some fucking wacky world, to some people, you're not allowed to dislike a game before it comes out. And my thing is, right, here's the problem with that whole mentality, especially when it comes from Sonic Land. Remember this footage right here that I'm showing on screen? Yeah, this looks like the finished product of Sonic Forces, right? This was gameplay shown to us in March 2017. The actual game looked just like this several months later, and it was garbage. We've been over this already. Forces is an awful game. An awful game. Let me get my grammar correct. Forces is an awful game. Everybody has the right to look at the initial gameplay footage that they're giving us and be like, well, damn, how do we know that it's going to be any different this time than it was last time? Now, granted, it's not going to be the same thing every time, but Sega hasn't really given us any reason to believe that it wouldn't. So people have every right to not like it, and people have every right to be worried. And the shit that isn't cool is we have niggas out here fucking doxing people who don't like the game, and it's like, what the fuck is your problem, you fatherless loser? Why are you doxing people because they don't like something that you like? And my thing is too, I'm not going hard like this just because I also am not really liking what I'm seeing and I'm like on the fence a lot with this. If it was the other way around, if people were doxing people who like the game just for liking the game, I'd still be upset, because what the fuck are you doxing people for because they have an opposite opinion of yours? And this is why I really hate associating myself with the Sonic community, because discourse like this doesn't fucking happen anywhere else. Like, Pokemon is bad in terms of their fan base. Smash is bad with the fan base. The fighting game community can use a lot of work. Every game community, like, has their bad eggs. But nobody does this shit. Nobody fucking doxes each other over goddamn Sonic the Hedgehog gameplay. Like, I don't understand what's wrong with you people. And I'm talking strictly to the ones who are getting angry at the people who have separate opinions. And that even goes for the same people who are getting mad at other people for liking the game. Because my thing is, right, if you like the game, if you like what you're seeing so far, I'm not going to get mad at you. I don't fucking care. Like whatever you want. I'm going to tell you that you're wrong when you are, but like whatever you want. It's not my business. But if you want to get mad at people, start insulting people, start going crazy at people because they have a separate opinion from you, that's where the problem comes from. And I know I just insulted people before, but I'm insulting assholes. The ones who deserve it. The ones who are out here fucking, again, doxing people over Sonic the fucking Hedgehog. That's where the problem is coming from. And then going back to talk about the people who do like the game, coming at the ones that don't, this even is something that I've had to deal with, because check this, right? I have a TikTok account, right? You should probably go follow that. And I, as a little joke, because I was bored, I started posting game clips of Sonic Unleashed and Sonic Generations on there with the tagline, Sonic Forces hurt my feelings. That's not the name of the game. Sonic Frontiers hurt my feelings, so here's gameplay of a good game instead, right? And the majority of my comment section is filled with people getting mad at me because I'm upset at a game that's not finished, right? These are the same people who saw this gameplay footage right here, said it wasn't finished, said it was going to be better by the time the game came out, and were wrong. And I'm not giving into that so fucking easily, right? I needed to see more, I needed to see better before I made that decision. But the funny thing is, right, given Sega's track record, I had the right to think this way, because once again, they did this before, where the gameplay footage that they gave us was exactly what we got when the game came out. So people have the right to be afraid and think that that's what's going to happen again, because they did it already. And again, throughout the course of the last couple of years, Sega hasn't really done anything to prove to us that they wouldn't do that shit again. So if you want to get mad at people because they don't like the game, and if you want to get mad at people because they do like the game, what both parties need to do, if you're getting mad, is you need to make a mad dash to some bitches, because this is fucking ridiculous. This was supposed to be a video of me talking about my feelings about Sonic Frontiers, and I did that earlier, but I also, in the title of the video, you can see it, I also wanted to address stat stuff, because it's just fucking ridiculous at this point. People can have whatever opinions they want on the games. You can disagree. You can talk about it in a civil way. Doxing motherfuckers, insulting motherfuckers, doing all of that unnecessary dumb shit just because somebody doesn't agree with you is not needed. And I'm getting like tired of seeing this shit because it's every fucking day on Twitter. And in my TikTok comments, I see the shit all the time there too. And it's, at this point, man, I don't even know. I just want to enjoy the game when it comes out, so hopefully I can do that. But I just went on a really big rant. It's hot down here, so I'm gonna close this video out so that I can turn this damn fan back on. Sonic Frontiers has promise, is the thing that I want to say. It has promise. Now, it sounds like everything that it has promised to do will be executed properly, but at this point, it's a waiting game. We just have to see it. I'm probably going to make another one of these videos again when we get more information about the story. I'm not sure, maybe not. I don't know yet, but what I do know is I just hope that Sega gets it together in the marketing department, because we're in the last couple of months of the game. The game's probably dropping in either November or December. We don't have time for the bullshit. We need to see more. We need to know exactly what we're getting ourselves into. We don't need to see every fucking thing. We don't need to do Generations again where they told us the entire game before it even came out. But I just need something. I need a little bit more to get me really excited for this game, because again, I'm on the fence. I'm both convinced and not. And I need that really big, like, boom moment to, like, really show me that, yeah, this game's going to be what it needs to be. This game's going to do what it needs to do. Because if I'm being completely honest, being a Sonic fan is very fucking exhausting, and I'm, like, I'm at my wit's end with it. So, let's just hope that they do what they gotta do this time. I apologize if you hear a fan in the background. I got hot. I needed to turn that shit back on. But anyways, if everything goes according to plan, my next video is going to be the big one that I mentioned at the beginning of this one. And hopefully that ends up happening. Now, for the plan of what happens afterwards, since this is a Sonic video, I will let it be known now that after the big video that's supposed to be coming out either later this month or the beginning of next month, I will be starting a review marathon of the main series Sonic games, starting with Sonic Origins and reviewing every main game all the way up to the release of Sonic Frontiers. So, I hope you guys are going to be ready for that, because if everybody hated my opinions on Sonic Frontiers on TikTok now, they're going to definitely probably hate what I have to say about the rest of these fucking games. So, when all of that goes down, I will see you guys then, but until then, goodbye.